Hey everyone, this is TechnoDog, a channel where you'll find exciting comparisons of the latest smartphones. Today, the competitors are the Honor 9X and the Huawei P30 Lite. I'll leave links to stores where you can purchase both of these smartphones in the description. But before starting the comparison of these smartphones, you need to subscribe to the channel and click on the bell under the video. This way, you never miss a new video. Liking and commenting will help us produce even better content. Well, let's get started! As usual, let's start by taking a look at the appearance of these phones. Both smartphones are produced, in fact, by one firm. For those who didn't know, Honor is a sub-brand, i.e. division, of Huawei. This is why many Honor and Huawei smartphones are so similar, and that is the case for the Honor 9X and the Huawei P30 Lite. But there are still some differences. Let's look at the front of the devices. The Honor 9X boasts an almost completely frameless display, as the front camera is retractable. The screen space is limited only by thin frames on the sides and above the screen, as well as the wider segments of frame on the bottom. The screen occupies 84.7% of the front of the smartphone. The Huawei P30 has a more rigorous design. The edges are rounded smaller than the Honor 9X's. The frames on the sides and the chin at the bottom are almost the same as its competitors. But on the top, instead of a thin frame, there is a drop-shaped notch for a camera. Despite the differences, which are clearly not in favor of framelessness, the screen of the Huawei P30 Lite occupies a decent 84.2% of the front side. The back surface of the smartphones have more similarities than the front. The Honor 9X has a vertical block in the upper corner consisting of 2 camera lenses and a flash. Below that, in the center, is the brand name Honor. I also want to pay attention to the beautiful gradient overflow, which forms the letter X on the glass back cover. The right edge of the smartphone got a volume control key, as well as a multi-function power button which has a fingerprint scanner. The top face is equipped with a retractable camera, microphone, and a slot for a nano SIM. At the bottom, there is an external speaker grill, a USB Type-C port, a second microphone, and a wired headphone jack. The phone has an aluminum frame. The weight of the smartphone is 206 grams. The Huawei P30 Lite has an almost identical vertical block located in the upper corner, only now there are not 2, but 3 camera modules. The flash has been moved lower, under the camera block. Below the block is a vertical inscription which says Huawei. On the side of the camera block is a fingerprint scanner. The volume and power keys are on the right side of the case, but the left side is empty, since the hybrid SIM card slot has been moved to the top of the phone. Close to the center is a small hole in the noise-canceling microphone, which should not be confused with the hole to open the tray. At the bottom of the P30 Lite, we see a 3.5mm headphone jack, Type-C port, speaker grill, and earpiece microphone. The body material, however, is plastic, not the usual glass, and the frame is also plastic. It gives off kind of a cheap vibe, but on the other hand, it has a great grip. Also, the device is quite light. It weighs only 159 grams. The Honor 9X received an LTPS IPS screen with a diagonal of 6.59 inches and a resolution of 2340 by 1080 pixels. The pixel density is 391 pixels per inch. The viewing angles are excellent. The contrast, brightness, and screen juiciness are at the level of the most modern high-quality IPS matrices. That's very, very good. The picture looks good, both in the dark and in sunlight. The Huawei P30 Lite boasts an almost identical screen, only slightly compressed. The diagonal of the display is 6.15 inches, due to which the pixel density is slightly different from the 9X's, 415 pixels per inch. The rest is the same LTPS IPS matrix and an almost identical resolution of 2312 by 1080 pixels. The screen can be considered good, but with one caveat. By default, the white balance is significantly littered in the direction of warm colors. Because of this, the image is noticeably yellow. But if you change the color rendition preset from normal to bright, color rendition comes back to normal. Both smartphones are based on Android 9 Pie running the proprietary EMUI 9.1. The most important innovation in version 9.1 is the introduction of the new ARC compiler technology, due to which significantly increases the speed of the operating system and applications. Huawei claims that ARC compiler can reduce the response time of embedded and third-party software by 44% and 60% respectively. The new firmware also supports the GPU Turbo 3.0 technology. According to the developers, in this mode, power consumption is reduced by 10%, the processor heats up less, and the battery depletes more slowly. The Honor 9X has a dual camera on the back. Its main 48 megapixel sensor with an aperture of 1.8 has phase autofocus. For portrait shots, a 2 megapixel sensor is used for measuring frame depth. A powerful flash is used. It is possible to shoot video in full HD at 30 frames per second. Particular attention is paid to the front 16 megapixel camera, which is retractable. It has an aperture of 2.0 and can record videos in full HD resolution. It's advanced pretty quickly. The P30 Lite is equipped with a triple main camera with a 24 megapixel main sensor, f1.8. Secondly, it has an 8 megapixel wide angle module, f2.2. And thirdly, a 2 megapixel auxiliary sensor for portrait mode. As usual, Huawei relies on the AI improvement of images. Artificial intelligence is able to recognize up to 22 types of scenes and apply appropriate color correction to them. The front camera has an impressive resolution of 32 megapixels, but has a modest aperture of f2.0. It has a fixed focus, and this is its main problem, since the phone needs to be kept at a certain distance so that the face does not fall out of the field of sharpness. Video is recorded in a maximum resolution of 1080p at a frequency of 60 frames per second. The Honor 9X is equipped with a bundle of the 8-core Kirin 810 processor, which is made according to the 7nm process technology and the Mali G52 graphics accelerator. You can choose from models with 4, 6, and 8 GB of RAM and 64 or 128 GB of internal memory. Also, don't forget that the smartphone has a slot for a microSD card, with which you can expand the memory by 512 GB. With liquid cooling, as well as GPU Turbo 3.0 technology, the Honor 9X got nearly 220,000 points in the AnTuTu test. The P30 Lite's insides are a bit simpler. The 8-core Kirin 710, made according to the 12nm process technology in conjunction with the Mali G51. There are two options for RAM available, 4 or 8 GB, and only 128 GB of internal memory, which, however, can be expanded as much as 1 TB using an SD card. The P30 Lite's performance will be enough for all users who do not pay too much attention to games. The smartphone works smartly. It quickly opens any application and switches between them efficiently. There are some kinks with the smoothness of animations. Sometimes during transitions in the interface, lag is noticeable, and there is aggressive cleaning of programs running in the background. In the AnTuTu tests, the Huawei P30 Lite scores approximately 135,000 points. Communication capabilities in both smartphones are superb. Both smartphones support all the necessary communication standards as well as dual-band Wi-Fi 802. The devices use 5th generation Bluetooth. Both Honor and Huawei have an NFC module as well as a radio. Inside the Honor 9X is a weighty 4,000 mAh lithium polymer battery. There's no quick charging support, so the battery charges to 100% in almost 3 hours. It's a little incomprehensible why, having equipped the device with such a capacious battery, Honor hesitated to add support for quick charge. Despite the fact that the battery capacity of the Huawei P30 Lite is 3,340 mAh, it supports fast charging, thanks to which a full charge only takes 1 hour and 25 minutes. Technical specs can say a lot, but without real reviews, the comparison would be incomplete. Therefore, based on customer reviews, I made a list of the main positive and negative aspects that users paid attention to. Disadvantages: Honor 9X. The device turned out to be quite dimensional and slippery. There is no quick charging support. Difficulties with using a retractable front camera. Inconvenience in using Face ID. Huawei P30 Lite. According to certain characteristics, the model copies previous smartphones. There is no serious incentive to purchase. Not the best picture quality, albeit not bad for its price. Due to the fact that the case is completely glass, the smartphone is pretty slippery. Advantages: Honor 9X. The new high-performance Kirin 810 chip for a fairly low price. Large frameless display without a notch. Dual camera with an excellent 48 megapixel resolution. The main lens, a good 32 megapixel front camera. Adequate value for the money. Huawei P30 Lite. Fast fingerprint scanner and face unlock. Type-C port and support for fast charging. There's a 3.5mm headphone jack. Characteristics of photo and video capabilities. High-quality artificial intelligence. To sum up, it can be noted that each smartphone is good in its own way. For those who need top-end performance and high camera performance, the Honor 9X is more suitable. Those who decide to focus on better autonomy and better photo and video processing should choose the Huawei P30 Lite. Otherwise, these smartphones are strong representatives of the budget class. The price for the Honor 9X for the base 464 model is around $210 US. Although the Huawei P30 Lite is cheaper than the Simple and Pro versions, it still loses at a cost of $310 US for the initial 128GB version. For comparison, the top version of the Honor 9X with 8GB of RAM and 128GB of ROM costs about $275. And with that, this comparison has come to an end. Fresh videos are released on the channel every day, and in order not to miss them, you just need to subscribe to the channel and click on the bell under the video. To motivate us to continue to produce top-level comparisons, like this video and write your opinion about this video in the comments. See you in the next video, and bye-bye!